Adolf Hitler was an extremely violent tyrant of a man throughout the 1940s. What if he held you at gunpoint and commanded you to take this bulldozer, push it over a hole full of Jews and bury them alive? Would you do it? What if he held you at gunpoint under the pain of death and told you to finish these Jews off with a machine gun? Would you do it? Most people would not even consider doing such a horrific thing to another human being. But I ask you, is it ever okay to kill a baby? We are experiencing a Holocaust here in the 21st century. Thousands of babies are being aborted each year simply because they were an accident or because the doctors told the parents that they would live a difficult life if they were born. The sad thing is, it is becoming more of an outlet for younger mothers around the world today. I strongly disagree that killing a baby is ever the right thing to do in any situation. I believe that there is never a time where killing a baby is the moral or the right decision, and I use what God says in the Bible to back up my stance. I'm so strongly against abortion because I believe that we are created in the image of God, and when we choose to abort a baby, we are choosing to kill a valuable creation of God. Today I'm going to share with you guys my stance on abortion and how I believe it hinders us from experiencing life the way God designed us to live. First, I'm going to share with you a basic overview of the development of a baby. Next, I'm going to share with you how God views and values life. Lastly, I'm going to share with you a couple of stories of real people in these real and difficult situations. Through these stories, we're going to discover my solution for this raging problem around the world. One of the biggest reasons why people abort babies is because they're misinformed on what actually happens within the womb. Upon conception, the baby starts out as a cell, no bigger than a grain of sugar. Throughout the next week, the baby keeps growing progressively. Before too long, the baby begins to take shape. The sex of the baby, along with the height, eye and hair color, and skin tone begin to form. All that is left is for the baby to grow, both inside the womb and out. The growing continues on a steady pace up until day 20, when the foundations of the brain, spinal cord, and nervous system are established. This means to me that when you choose to abort a baby, the baby can feel the pain. 21 days after conception, the baby gets a heartbeat. It is now that the mother can hear the proof of life. We are created and made in the image of God. We don't have the right to abort a baby because the Creator gave it life. Another reason why I take the stand on abortion that I do is because the Bible states how God Himself views and values the sanctity of life. Deuteronomy 30:19, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today, and I leave before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. So choose life in order that you may live, you and your descendants. God gives us a choice. He set before us life and death in both the physical and spiritual sense. He gives us a choice to decide either way, but He urges us to choose life in order that we may live. God wants us to live life the way that He designed it to be. Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. God is a purposeful agent of creation, and with the creation as such, we should respect that, and we should choose life. From conception to our last breath, God has given each and every one of us significance and meaning. My dad was talking about when my sister was born, and he says that our baby was a human living being. Because of our faith, we realized that she was a representation, created and made in the image and likeness of God. As stated before, in my opinion, we don't have the right to abort a baby because the Creator gave it life. Stories of people who choose to carry through with the birth of their children give me hope that there are still some people who value what God says about choosing life. Lee Ezell is a well-known humor therapist who knows what it's like to choose life. This is no better demonstrated than when she followed through with the birth of her daughter Julie after a brutal rape. They are in constant contact to this day, and Julie says that I am so grateful I did not have to pay for my father's actions. Julie would not have felt this kind of gratitude if Lee would have chosen to abort her in the womb. My sister was once good friends with a friend that we're going to call Jen. Jen became pregnant out of wedlock in her late teens. She offered the baby up for adoption, and the baby was adopted by a couple that we're going to call Greg and Penny. You see, Penny had a congenital kidney disease that caused her to be unable to carry a pregnancy. If Jen would have chosen to abort the baby, Greg and Penny would not have had their dream fulfilled. Studying the stats and development of a baby really moved me to believe all the more that we are created both in the image of God and for a purpose. One reason why I believe abortion is wrong is because the Bible speaks against it, stating such things as we are to choose life, so that we may live it to the fullest. If our country was run again by these morals, many innocent babies would be saved and lives would be mended. Hearing the story of Lee Ezel brings hope to me, and it tells me that the potential for life is still great. I strongly believe that a valuable option for frightened mothers is to offer the baby up for adoption. If you don't want the baby to experience the life that you're living, give it a chance with another couple. How will the baby live life to the fullest according to Deuteronomy 30, verse 19? Simply give the baby a chance to make a difference in this world. Giving their baby a chance. That's exactly what Dave and Cheryl Kramer did with their son named Teddy, who was born with Down syndrome. Only one day after being born, Cheryl was told by the doctors that Teddy would likely never smile, probably wouldn't talk, maybe would not walk, and would never have over a 40 IQ. They weren't allowed to let this bad news hinder Teddy from living life to the fullest. See, Teddy was an avid Cincinnati Reds fan, and he had the opportunity of a lifetime to become the Reds bat boy for a game. Everyone on the Reds instantly fell in love with Teddy. After the game, Brandon Phillips, the all-star second baseman for the Reds, said that people are blessed in their own way. Teddy came in here and blessed us with his energy and his presence that day. Enjoy life. Be yourself. Go out and play hard. Give it all you got. That's Teddy. He's a reminder to us all. You see, most people would have just written off Teddy as just another special needs guy. But God looks upon Teddy and treasures him. Why? Because he's made in the image of God. When anything is created because of that kind of creator, we're to choose life, and we are to treat that piece of treasure with respect and care.